You are welcome back to my channel. We are seeing yet another exciting development from Edo State, talking about the arrest of some persons who reportedly supplies arms and ammunition to bandits. And this time around, the military did it. I will allow you to watch shortly because those arrested were interrogated. And I want you to listen to them and do your own personal appraisal of what you think of their position and the arrest. Because as you have it, personally, I'm always on the view that the more you mop up arms and ammunition for the society, the safer the society becomes. I want to say that the other time we saw the locals in Edo State, particularly the vigilantes, giving quick notice to any illegal occupier of Edo Forest. When that happened, we equally saw it as a welcome development. We don't waste time in bringing any update to your knowledge. But watch as we come back to further this conversation.
Officers of the 4 Brigade Headquarters Nigerian Army paraded 4 suspected kidnappers arrested during a cordon and search operation carried out in Aho and Uselu-Naho communities. The operation was led by Captain Victor Omotosho, who briefed journalists on the development. He disclosed that the suspects were apprehended in the early hours of Sunday, November 16. Recovered from them were 1 AK-47 rifle with a magazine, a pump-action gun, and other dangerous items. Captain Omotosho described the operation as a significant stride in the ongoing efforts to stamp out kidnapping and other violent crimes in Edo State.
The troops of Headquarters 4 Brigade conduct a cordon and search operation at Aho and Uselu-Naho communities, both in Owonde local government area of the state. 2 vehicles, including 1 Toyota Camry and 1 Toyota Highlander Jeep, were also seized during these operations. Of course, it relates to the kidnapping activities that has been occurring along those axes in the state.
The suspects, however, denied any involvement in the alleged kidnapping activities.
I was sleeping inside the room, then the soldier now came in and buzzed the door. Then they now arrest me. I was shocked with everything because I just came back from Libya.
Me with my woman we did I believe we expect I take combat. As I see that they see me, I sit down for ground, I take sit down. Don't have any gun.
I go burial for community yesterday. So after the burial, I also sleep my parents for village before I come in today. So the night, yes, so you are bossed. The house come meet me. The gun where they see for the house. Now my father I live now.
I don't get gun. I know they shoot gun. For local class, I be my home. I don't feel better. But by the grace of God, I know that God will see me through.
The Edo State government has repeatedly pledged continued support for the military and other security agencies to ensure safety, peace, and stability across the state. The army has assured that operations will be sustained until kidnapping and other violent crimes are fully neutralized.
You are welcome back. So what are your thoughts about this arrest? Because we understand that some of them, or almost all of them, deny all the allegations leveled against them. And as you have it, that's why I'm calling for an in-depth investigation to unravel what actually transpired or the involvement of each of them in the alleged crime. But holistically speaking, personally, I welcome any idea to mop up arms from the society. That is why I particularly worried that idea of some proponents of negotiation with bandits, Fulani militias, that says negotiate with them, allow them to retain their arms, I must say that is not acceptable by any standard. I must say that it's a misnomer to start negotiating with bandits. Because as far as I'm concerned, these people have no value for human life. That is why when Trump said he was coming for Islamic terrorists, personally, I saw it as a welcome development because the same people Trump referred to as Islamic terrorists are the same people who know as ISWAP members, Boko Haram members, and Saudi terrorist members, Fulani militias. So it doesn't matter the nomenclature. anybody bearing arm, stay in the bush, kidnapping, maiming, raping, is a terrorist. And the question is, it beats all imagination why someone like Shegumi, who of course at some point in his life was in the military, will be telling federal government of Nigeria to start negotiating with bandits. Because come to think of it, these are people who are alien to this country, because it has been proven that most of them come from different parts of African country like Burkina Faso, Libya, Mali, name it. Because even Buhari himself, while he was alive, is Trump's first term as the president of the United States of America. When Buhari had an encounter with him, Buhari was emphatic that most of the bandits, or call them Fulani militias, are people who left Libya after the fall of Gaddafi. And that the only training they had is how to shoot gun. So you begin to wonder, begin to ask, how can Shegumi be asking for amnesty for those who are alien to Nigeria, other national? On what basis? More so, as someone like Kal Baraje made it clear that they brought the Fulani militias to remove a Jonathan from office in 2015. And this is said in Ilore during his 70th birthday. So personally, I think I encourage federal government to move and acquire monopoly of currency power, smoke them out of their hiding places, set them running, and bring them to justice. I must say that personally, I am in support of federal government to decisively deal with bandits, and encourage every patriotic Nigerian to queue behind federal government, every genuine effort of federal government to decisively deal with them. Because that is why when we saw the move of federal government to acquire about 24 fighter jets, personally I saw it as a welcome development. Even the idea to even buy 49 fighter jets, I only saw it as a welcome development. Because what made government ultimate world over is the ability to possess monopoly of currency power. By the time the government is sharing that monopoly of currency power with non-state actors, of course, it exposes government as a weak sovereign state. That is why I say that the idea of bringing terrorists, bandits, to negotiating tables in the north, in Katsina, in Zamfara, as we see videos that go around, is unacceptable. Even if the governors of those states are denying that they are not involved. But the question is, if you are the governor, you are supposed to be the governor and the chief security officer of that state. If you now see a situation where people are comfortably sitting with bandits in what looks like negotiation, the question is between the governor and the bandits, who now own the sovereignty of the state, who now have the monopoly of coercive power. Because recently we saw a video where even a bandit came to wedding fully armed. This time around in the regular society, not in the bushes, not in the forest as we used to hear. So it means their coercive power is already being extended to the regular society. No wonder the governor of Zamfara State lamented the other time that these people, they know them, they know where they stay, they know their relations, they know their genealogy. But at the time, he was lamenting about his inability to command the security architecture in his state. Because personally, I understand that the governors do not currently command the security architecture in their respective states. That is why personally I've always been on the view that we should reject this as security architecture to give the governors some level of security power. But I want to say that the Forest Guard initiative of federal government have come to give them that leverage to command the security architecture in their respective states if they are willing to key into it with a speed of light. Because we understand that federal government have given the state governors, or rather the state government, not to engage personnel of Forest Guard and recruit between 2,000 and 5,000 personnel. As at the last count, I understand that it is only Enugu State that have actually engaged Forest Guards. But I begin to worry the reluctance from the state governors, particularly those states that are heavily ravaged by this insecurity. Talking about states like Zamfara, Katsina, Benue, Plateau, Taraba, and even Kwara. Well, I was expecting that they would jump at this opportunity with the speed of light. More so, as the president have come out to make it clear, talking about Senator Amebola Tinubu, that at some point that he will be willing and ready to give state police a nod. The point is, if we try the Forest Guard initiative and it's not working, we can now go back to the president to say that let us try state police. But the manner we are seeing state governors knocking into this with the speed of light is worrisome. Another angle have to do with the notion or the speculation of sabotage within those who are fighting insurgency. Because I must say, I note with a serious concern the position of the Kebbi State governor, who came out to clarify that the military guiding the Kebbi school where they adopted children, pupils, were withdrawn 30 minutes before those bandits struck. I must say that this called for an in-depth probe that the president himself should step in and make the authorities to unravel who compromised, if actually there was a compromise. Because for a governor of a state to come out to make such allegation, I must say it's a very weighty one that demands an immediate and urgent investigation. Because if you have sabotage within the system, it becomes difficult to fight this insurgency. Now, I've always say it that the issue of fighting insurgency demands a symbiotic relationship that should encompass the federal government, the state governments, local governments, the locals, and even the traditional rulers, who of course we understand have more authority over the people. Because to do otherwise is to say you are not ready to fight this insurgency. Because as we have it, it has been proven that the locals have the moral authority over the people. It has been proven that all crime is local. And if all crime is local, the locals have the intelligence to deal with this issue. Even based on this, we have seen successes recorded by the locals from a different part of the country. I think we must commend the effort of Harrison Gwamishu, who of course operates from Delta State. And as we have it, his tentacles are already spreading beyond Delta State, because we understand that his team already joining Nigerian military, Nigerian police, anti-kidnapping squad to even go to as far as Kogi, those states, to go and fight bandits and kidnappers. I want to encourage every Nigerian that has the capacity to do so to equally emulate him and do so, because this issue of fighting insecurity demands that all hands must be on deck. Because I want to say that anybody that is any peace-loving member of the society must support every effort of federal government to address this insecurity. Because even if you say it's not yet happening in your state, in your locality, I want to tell you that it is a matter of time. If it's not addressed, it must surely go round. That is why, as quickly as possible, as urgently as possible, it can be addressed. We must all encourage and support federal government to address it, so that we can see an end to this. But I must say a very big thank you for your time. This is Sadlam Midana, Mr. Martin.